Tomorrow it's going to be paper, pencil, and your homework, right? All right, don't worry about it. Come on, get your head up. All right, so you guys, do we agree we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right?
We didn't do 6.
We didn't do 6?
No.
Oh, yeah, let's go back to number 6. A brilliant question. I want everyone number 6 now. Super, super important problem. Here we go. So it says, you plan to walk on Saturday. How far must you walk on this day so that your 6-day average is 2.5 miles? Now, who can tell me what average of 2.5 miles means? What would be a good definition of walking an average of 2.5 miles? Gray, what would you think?
So you get the average, like add them all up, and then you divide them by the number.
Yes, that's how you find the average. But let's say I want to walk 2.5 miles every day. Right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, if you want to average 2.5 miles, what does that actually mean? Tell me.
You find the most accurate amount. Like sometimes you might walk more.
That's right.
So you find the most, like the number that you walk the most amount.
Okay, so no. Listen, I understand what you're trying to say, but all I'm asking you is if you want to average 2.5 miles a day, what does that actually mean? You want to what?
You want to walk 2.5 miles.
Yes, you want to walk 2.5 miles a day, but sometimes you might walk what? More. Sometimes you might walk what? But on average, you're going to walk what? 2.5 miles every single day. That's what that means. All right, so you got to hear me on that because that's kind of hard for kids. If I want to average 2.5 miles a day for how many days? 6 days. I want someone to tell me how many miles I would walk in those 6 days then. Somebody tell me how many miles I would walk altogether. How many? How did you get that? That's exactly right. So I want everybody to start out by saying 2.5 times 6. That means you need to walk a total of 15 miles in that 6 days. That's what that means. You want to walk a total of 15 miles in that day. Everybody agree with that? Jack?
Yes.
Put that up. Pay attention. All right? So now the question is, how many miles do I have to walk on Saturday to accomplish that goal? Who can tell me how to figure that out now? What do I do? Good for you.
You subtract 12 and 1/6.
Yay! How did you know that? Why 12 and 1/6?
Because it's the average and that's how much you have and you have to get it.
Yes, listen to me. That's very brilliant. We already added up. Don't say wait, just listen. Put your eyes up here. So over the first 5 days, we already calculated how many miles we've walked. We've walked how many miles so far?
12 and
We've walked 12 and 6 miles. I need to walk a total of what? Very smart. So what do I do now?
you subtract 15 and 12 and 1/6.
Yay, thank you very much. 15 minus 12 and 1/6. 2 and 5/6 miles. So if I walk 2 and 5/6 miles on Saturday, I will have averaged 2.5 miles a day. That's exactly what that means. Hopefully you understood what I was saying. That's a really, really important problem. Really important. So average just means that we want to walk 2.5 miles a day, but sometimes we walk more, sometimes we walk what? Less. All right? But overall, we want it to be 2.5 miles every single day. All right? So thank you, whoever reminded me about number 6. That's an important problem. All right? Now let's move on. Let's skip down now to number 8. All right? I want everybody to put a star by number 8 because number 8 is actually kind of hard. All right? There's a lot going on here. All right? So Anna, I want you to read it to me, please.
If you have enough pages to cover 10 square yards, you have enough pages to cover 10 square yards. You plan on making a walkway that is 30 feet.
Okay, so here's what I want to show you guys. All right? Generally, I'm going to go up here because I have graphs. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to represent 10 square yards. All right, so I'm going to draw something. Well, actually, I'm going to try to show you what I mean by drawing 10 square yards. All right, so that looks like a square. Does everybody agree? Now I'm going to tell you that square has what? That square has, sorry, I don't know what's going on. So this has what? 10 square yards inside it. Does everybody agree with me? Right? Now, just like this, inside there are 10 square yards. All right? And what I'm going to do is, everybody knows what those little brick pavers are, right?
Yeah.
Right? So what happens now is they just bring them in a big slab. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the squares from the slab and you're going to create a nice walkway. And this is what your walkway looks like. All right? You want this to be your walkway. Right? Now, I want to draw something here. Please look up. You can just kind of really pay attention. I'm going to draw this right here. What is this area right here? How much is it? 10 square yards. Now, please look up, guys. Stop messing with your calculator. Look up. How much is this area right here? How much is that area? Nope. Nope. Very smart. But you didn't say the right units. You would say 10 what? Square yards. It's 10 square yards. So what I'm trying to tell you now is listen carefully. Those areas are going to be the same. Everybody agree with that? I'm taking pieces, just let me explain. I'm taking pieces from here and I'm going to put them over here, but I'm going to change the dimensions. Everybody agree with me? All I'm doing is, listen for a second, I'm just changing the dimensions. I'm not saying how I'm doing that. I'm just saying I need you to visualize that's what we're doing. Right? There's a big stack of bricks, and that square stack is what? 10 square yards. And I'm going to take the individual bricks in there, and I'm going to make a sidewalk out of those individuals. Does everybody agree with that? Sometimes you need them in a what? You need them in an area like this, and sometimes you just need a sidewalk, like out there. We go get on the sidewalk and we walk to somewhere else. Right? The smaller bricks. All right? Now, what was your question?
You said take the individual dimensions?
No, I said take the individual bricks that make up this 10 square yards, and we're going to lay them this way.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And I'm trying to say I'm just going to make it longer instead of make it one giant what? Square.
The base times height is different, but the area is the same.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Gray. Everybody hear what he just said? That was very nice. Well, I appreciate that. The base times the height is different, but the area is the same. That is perfectly well stated. All right? Everybody okay with that? All right? So we're changing the dimensions of this so I can make a nice sidewalk in my house. Do I agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Now, this right here, we have a little bit of problem. And the reason why I say we have a little bit of a problem is because of this. All right? This, I want to be specifically 30 inches wide. Now, why is this a problem? Come on. Why is this a problem, Tucker?
Because 10 yards doesn't go into 30 inches.
Right. Well, it's not that they don't go in evenly. We say that their units are what?
Different.
The units are different. We cannot have different units. Has to be the same units. All right? So, to me, in my opinion, it's easier to change an inch to a yard than a square yard to an inch. All right? So I want someone to tell me now, I want everybody to write this down because I want to make sure you understand it. 1 foot has how many inches? Everybody should know this. 12 inches. Good. If you know that, pat yourself on the back. 1 yard is how many feet? 3 feet, right? So then I would say 1 yard is equal to 36 inches. Brilliant. All right, so I'd like for you to know that. So if this sidewalk right here is going to be 30 inches wide, is that more than 1 yard or less than 1 yard wide? Less. So how many yards is it going to be?
Roughly 2.5.
No, not roughly. I want the exact answer. And you already told me it's less than 1. Because 36 inches would be 1 yard, right?
Yeah. It would be
So tell me how many? How many yards?
not one. But
Not 1. How many parts of an inch or part of a yard is it?
30,
Out of how many?
36.
This is what I'm trying to teach you. 30 isn't a whole yard, right? It's what? It's 30 inches out of what? 36 inches. Now type that in on your calculator and reduce that fraction for me. And give me a second. I'll let you ask.
Can you go back up? I forgot to get.
That's okay. That's okay. I appreciate that. You're being good. All right. Very nice. Shh. So when you did 30 out of 36, that went down to what? 5/6. So this width of this rectangle, instead of calling it 30 inches, we're going to call it 5/6 of a what? 5/6 of a yard. 5/6 of a yard. Come on, be writing things down.
I forgot how to simplify the fraction.
Just type it in. 30, ABC, 36, and then hit equals. Do that. It'll reduce the fraction for you. Jensen, what? What was your question?
I think I have it in a decimal.
No decimals. We're doing fractions. All right. So I have, this is 5/6 of a yard. My question to you guys is this: how long could this be? How long could my walkway be? Who wants to try to tell me that? What would I do?
Oh, you would subtract.
Tell me how do you find area first of all?
So you find the area is 10. So you would subtract.
But first you got to tell me. Before you tell me that, I want you to tell me what the formula is for area.
Oh, all the sides multiply.
Not all of them. Just what's the formula? Tell her. Base times height or length times width.
Okay.
You with me on this,
Yeah.
right? So this, I want everybody to write down, is length times width. All right? And right now, my width is 5/6 of a yard, and my area is 10. Jack, just reach around and throw that in the garbage. All right? So what's the area? Someone tell me. What's the area of a rectangle?
It would be 300.
No. What's the area of a rectangle? What's the area? No. What's the area? 10. The area. Now I accidentally wrote down on the. It's not 10 yards, but 10 what? Yes, 10 square yards. So if you're making yourself notes, make sure I just added that in. All right. It's not 10 yards. The area is 10 square yards. Right. So if my area is 10. We don't know what the length is, but my width is 5/6. What do I do? Yes, thank you. All right, I want everybody to do on their calculator now to solve for L. 10 divided by 5/6. And that would be what? 12. 12 what? 12 yards. Thank you for not saying square and thinking on your own. That was important. Because we're measuring a what? A length. A length is not area. A length is one-dimensional, so we say it would be 12 yards. Thank you. All right, that was very nice. All right, does everybody understand that? All right, that was kind of tricky, okay? I'm being honest, that was hard. All right, so if you understand what I said, we're in good shape. If you don't understand what I'm saying, you got to follow along with me. All right, don't be distracted. Come on, I've done all this work up here, all this great drawing, and you don't have nothing of it. Come on, get on the drawings. All right. Now, B. All right. So now let's say we go outside and we measure from our front door to our driveway is 16 2/3. I need to know, well, how wide could I make my driveway then? All right, so let's make a driveway, guys. So I'm going to make a driveway. There's my driveway. And my driveway is how long? I mean, my walkway is how long this time?
16 and 2/3.
Right. My my walkway, I measured it, and I need to make it 16 2/3 yards long. Does everybody agree with that? Now, what's my area? What's my area of my walkway? It's still 10. Thank you very much. This is still 10 square yards. I'm drawing again. You're staring. Now I'm trying to figure out how wide I can make it. Jack, what would I do? No, not trial and error. All right, we're smart. We can figure this out. Somebody tell me, what would I do, Tucker?
You do 16 and 2/3 divided by 10.
Anybody else? He said 16 and 2/3 divided by 10.
No.
No, what would you do? I like that.
20 divided by
No.
Wait.
What are we doing? Jensen, tell him. Yeah, you guys said it backwards. You guys said it backwards. You agree with him, right? Because again, we want to look at this and say area equals length times width, 10 equals 16 and 2/3 times W. So to undo the multiplication, we just divide. So everybody type in 10 divided by 16 and 2/3. Come on, man, you got to still keep up. Keep your hand in your pencil, or pencil in your hand, and get to writing. Don't put it down anymore. So how wide is my walkway? 3/5 of a what? Yes, ma'am, thank you. 3/5 of a yard. All right. Now, what I want everybody to do is somewhere you should have 10 divided by 16 and 2/3, and that is equal to 3/5 of a yard. You're not allowed to just write down on your test just the answer. All right, the calculator is getting your answer. I have to see the operation that you use. Is everybody okay with that? Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Yes, sir.
And also, if you write it out and you get it wrong, then
You get partial credit.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you partial credit. Part of it's for the drawing, part of it's for the equation, part of it's for the solution, because I know it's hard. All right, I know it's hard. That's why I'm saying draw things out. Draw things out. All right? So again, I thought that problem was pretty hard also. Everybody should be reviewing number 8. All right, now let's scroll down to number 16. All right? Emiliana, you're up. Read.
The area is 13 and a half inches wide and
So what's the formula for area?
length times
You're awesome, girl. Area equals length times width. So what do I do?
width.
Shh. I'm calling on people. 21 and what? And then what? You're awesome. All right, so go ahead. Take care of that. No decimals. Fractions for now. Decimals are for like money. What'd you get, kiddo? Take your time. Good job. What's our units? Shh. Did you think on your own or did you just hear that? We're measuring area. So inches what? Yes, because area, remember? You measure area with what? Squares. That's why we say inches squared. Make sure you're hearing me. You can still do better. Look what all that I wrote up there. I expect you to write it all out, like everybody else. All right, Angelina, you're up. What? Oh, thank you, Gray. Hold up, let Gray ask the question.
So, no matter, like, all of these problems where it's inches wide, when you find the area, it's always going to be square. So inches squared.
Yeah, anytime someone says, do you find the area, it's always squares. You measure area with squares. All right, Angelina, read.
A deer balances 7 1/4 inches long, including its tail. If the tail is 1/2, its total long. How long is the tail?
What are you thinking? Tell me what to do.
7 1/4 divided by 2.
Yes, you're awesome, kiddo. 7 1/4 divided by 2, and tell me what that answer is.
3 and 5.
3 5/8. 3 5/8 what?
Inches.
Inches. That is correct. 3 5/8 inches. Is everybody okay with that? That wasn't bad, right? All right. Caruso, you get to read 18. Loud and proud.
A receipt for sourdough rye bread calls for 1/4 cup rye flour and 1 2/3 cups of bread flour. How many cups of flour would you need on a day? So you would just add.
That's right. So the recipe for sourdough calls for 3/4 cups of rye and 1 2/3 cups of flour. So we're going to add those together like he said. 3/4 plus 1 2/3, and I'm waiting for a response. He's got it. He's got it. Let him do it. Come on. 2 and what? What? 2 and 5/12 what? That's correct. Cups. Beautiful. Well, remember, the operation has to be down. The operation has to be down. All right, Brooke, you're up. Read me 19. Does everybody understand that? That's what happens to wood. Does everybody know that?
Yeah.
Your wood always is constantly expanding and contracting. That's why sometimes you hear noise in your house, right? Because the drier it is, the smaller the boards get. That's exactly correct.
I always get creeped out.
No, it's always just the moisture. It's always the moisture in the wood. All right? That's why sometimes if you ever see a fence, listen to me. Sometimes when you see an old fence, the nails are coming out of the wood. The reason why the nails are coming out of the wood is because it's putting so much pressure that it's forcing the nails what? Out, because it's shrinking down. That's why they use screws sometimes, because it's harder for screws to come out. All right? So what do I do on this? Exactly. Subtract them. All right? She's got it. She's got 7/32. 7/32 what? Inches. The units are important. I want you to get in the habit of putting down the units. If you don't put the answer,
No.
what is it? Now, the problem is here, girls. Do you really, can you have negative thickness? No, the negative just means what? It shrunk down, right? So technically what you should have said was 1 1/2, that's where you started. And then you subtracted 1 9/30. Yeah, you did the shorter minus the larger. You see what I'm saying, right? Okay, so again, it doesn't matter if you can't tell. It's just you have to understand we're not saying negative, right? The negative would represent the fact that it's got smaller. All right, hopefully everybody understands what I'm saying on that. Everybody pretty good with that? All right. Now the last one I want you to work with right here, guys, is kind of important. So I'm going to put it on pause. And then I want everybody to try to do number 20. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes. All right? I'm going to put it on pause. Okay, let's listen to Jack for a second. Jack, did you get an answer yet?
I did.
What'd you get, buddy?
So you have to.
No, I just want you to tell me what the answer is.
6 and 12.
6 and 1/12. What did you get? Wow. What did you get? Wow. Wow, that's amazing. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's pretty. What?
I got 4 and 5.
Thank you.
I got 12. 4 and 2. I got like, I think I was like 30.
Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. I always like you to have your own answer. All right? I like that. All right? I don't care if you know, this is how you're getting smarter. Do something on your own. Even if it's wrong, it's okay. What?
I got 2 and 5 others.
Good. What about you? All right, so let's try to figure it out. Xavier, I didn't hear you say anything.
I got 133. Oh, wait.
Okay, so here we go. So Jack, why don't you walk me through this? What I want you to tell me exactly how you can do it. All right, go. What do I do?
Okay, so what I did is you start with your first number, perimeter, it has a column.
Yeah, it's what?
That's the perimeter.
Yeah,
Not the area.
definitely not the area. Tell us.
Alright, so what I did is I added up, well, I multiplied 5 and 2/3 times 2.
Brilliant.
And then,
The reason, hold up, 5 and 2/3 times 2, right? Because there are 2 5 and 2/3. And tell me what that was.
that was 11 and 1/3.
So 11 and 1/3. Now what?
And then I subtracted that
From what?
from 23 and 1/2.
Wow, very good. So that would give the remaining length here and the remaining length here. Very nice work. And then what?
And then I divided that by
Wow, and then divided that by 2 because the sides are the same. Now look, that's just something, listen, I want everybody to stop and just listen to what I'm saying now. Come on. Tucker, listen, please. I know you're doing it, but just listen for a second. I want you to go back and do it. Max, hear me. Listen, this is important. Tucker, listen, I'm glad you guys gave me different answers and wrong answers. Because at least I know you did what? You tried it on your own. All right, that's the important part. Try it on your own. Now my job is to make sure, hold up, is to make sure if you didn't understand the explanation, you have to let me know. Did that help his explanation? Because that was exactly correct. All right, so here we go. Let me talk to you about it now so you can see what I'm saying. So what I want to do now is I'm going to change this color and you tell me if you're okay. Perimeter is just walking around my rectangle. Do you agree? And when I walked all the way around, I measured it was what? That's exactly right. You with me? That's the total distance all the way around. Now, watch. I'm going to draw myself walking around so you can see a better idea. All right, so here I am. I walked from here to here. How much is that? Shh, no. How much? Do I know what this is? But I know this is what? So if I've walked this and I've walked this, altogether I've walked what? You're exactly correct. 11 and 1/3. You with me? Now, tell me again, please. all the way around is how much?
23.
Right. So if I take 23 and 1/2 and I subtract out these two, that will tell me how long this is plus how long that is. Do you agree with that? So do that real quick and tell me. Hurry up. 23 and 1/2 minus 11 and 1/3. What is that? 12 and 1/6. Now listen to me. So this, I want you to tell me if you agree with me. This plus this is that 12 and 1/6. Do you agree?
Yeah.
There you go, kiddo. Divide it by 2 and see what happens. There you have it. 6 and 1/12. Tucker, were you listening to me?
Yeah.
You heard my explanation?
Yeah.
Xavier, did you hear my explanation? Was that good for you too? Anybody have any questions? All right. Now, your responsibility right now, we have about 5 minutes or so. Everybody, I'm going to stop and upload this if you have any questions. But I want everybody to work with a partner and try to do the next 5 problems. All right. Your assignment is 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Work together. Help each other. Was that the bell? Okay, so tonight, tonight try to do those 5 problems, 21 through 25. 21 through 25. Do a good job, please. Hey, thank you, Jack. That was a good job today. Tomorrow, you're going to be in trouble, right? If you don't come prepared. You hear me? Everything. Oh, come on now. Hey, you know something. I give you a little bit of hard time, right? So tomorrow, I want what out of you? Paper, pencil, calculator, worksheet. See you, Sean.